Okay, hi and welcome to this reading. Today's reading is a love reading. I'm picking up an energy of longing. So I was doing some research this morning just into some other readings that I was doing. And my daughter walked out into the kitchen and she was humming a song, but it was a song in another language. So she didn't know the lyrics of it. It's part of a soundtrack to a Korean K-drama called Moonlovers, Scarlet, Ryeo. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful one of, actually, it probably is my favorite of all the K-dramas that I've watched. I've watched it a couple of times, but not for quite a while. Anyway, she was humming a particular tune to it. She didn't know the lyrics. She was just humming the song. And so I said to her, "Do you know the lyrics? If not, I'll look them up." These are the lyrics. Now, the significance of this is that there's potentially a connection here where two people are trying to connect, or their higher selves are trying to connect without the 3D person actually being aware. Because as I said, the song is in Korean and she didn't know the actual lyrics to the song. A petal is fluttered to the ground by the season. It'll be alone, lonely and sad. The sky where the stars left is sad, so it cries like the falling rain, like the flower blooms and falls. Please deliver my mind via the wind. The wish will become true when the first snow comes. I believe that story, my dearest wish. If you knew my grieving heart, you'll be back soon. It's called We'll Be Back. Now that story in itself is about two people, and she literally falls through a portal. She comes from present day and she falls back in time into a long gone period in history, and they cross paths. So this is somebody that you are meant to cross paths with in this lifetime, not necessarily be with in this lifetime, but each potentially the catalyst for some sort of change in each other. Now, I'm not going to give away the storyline. As I said, it is my favorite out of all of them, and I've watched a lot. Thankfully, the K-dramas aren't as long as some of the Chinese or the Turkish dramas, which are 60, 70 episodes long. So when I did the pre-shuffle, I got the Wheel of Fortune. So a fortunate meeting of two people. And when we look at the Wheel of Fortune, it's Jupiter. So the wheel can spin forwards or the wheel can spin backwards in terms of the lessons that you're meant to learn from each other and how you then implement them into your life. So we also have the Seven of Wands. Now that is a card of being defensive. It's also a card, if you look at the particular drawing in this card, of somebody defending somebody else. Now in that K-drama, and I will show you, because last night I'd fallen asleep and I woke up probably about 11 o'clock. I always do a quick random shuffle on my phone. I got 3 songs. St. Elmo's Fire, My Love. Now that's from Scarlet, Ryeo. Protecting. That's the 2 of them. And then Ponte Vecchio. That song's been coming up so frequently. And the Ponte Vecchio is about a bridge between, in this instance, a bridge between 2 people. The story of the Ponte Vecchio, because that's the bridge in Florence, is that during World War II, there was 2 people, a German soldier who was in love with an Italian girl, but he was stationed on one side of the river and she lived on the other. And as part of the strategy in World War II, Hitler basically went through and took out all of the bridges to stop foreign armies essentially coming through. And the local people in Florence tell the story that this particular soldier was so in love with this girl and didn't want the bridge to be taken down, that he didn't want the connection to be lost, that he went all the way to the top and asked if the bridge could remain intact. And obviously it was the only bridge in Florence that wasn't destroyed. So some sort of connection, and I'm getting, because that song is We'll Be Back. So there's been some sort of separation. And whether it's been because of external circumstances or through whatever this particular couple has been working on together or individually. So I'm going to pop those there. The other thing that I got was there's something about the solstices here. And the other song that I got was Katy Perry's In Another Life. In another life, I will be your girl. Meaning that whether this couple comes together or not in this lifetime is determined solely by the actions of each individual. It's not a given, is what I want to say. So let me get a card. This is my song deck. Now, before I start, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. A bit about me first. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I pick up on energy prior to a reading. And my puppy's just come and sat beside me. And what he actually does, he's curled himself into, you know, they curl themselves into a little ball where their head actually ends up on almost their back thigh. Animals do it in the wild. They're protecting their underbelly. They're protecting themselves because when they go to sleep, they're vulnerable. There's some vulnerability in here. And maybe that's what needed to be worked on. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. A bit about me first. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I pick up on energy prior to a reading. All of my readings are timeless. Whenever you stumble across this reading, you were meant to find it. All of the decks that I use on my channel are my own designs because I'm also an illustrator. If you're called to any of those, the links can be found in the description box. Any TV series, movies, songs, anything like that I mention, I'll also list in the description. So if you are called to, you can go and take a look at those. There might be more messages in those for you. Let's get a song for you. This is my song deck, Patience. Guns N' Roses. This is a journey. I just heard a whole big ass journey. You and me, Lifehouse. What are the things that I wanted to say just aren't coming out right? I'm tripping on words. You got my head spinning. I don't know where to go from here. Because it's you and me and all of the people with nothing to do, nothing to prove. And it's you and me and all of the people. And I don't know why. I can't keep my eyes off of you. And on the bottom, November rain. Might be something about November. Might be something about the rain. Obviously in that image from Scarlet Ryeo. That I presume is the album cover for the original soundtrack. I'm pretty sure it is actually. He's protecting her from the rain. Okay, let's get delays. Wow, patience. What else? Wants to come out. Fall from grace. The only way out is through, and joyous resolution. Just take those as they resonate. They may not all be for you. Meaning some could be for you and some could be for the other person. Completion. Okay, I'm going to use my Lovebirds Tarot deck. So I'm going to get a card for you. I want to say them. I'm going to get a card for them and a card for you. Now, you may be mirroring, so let's just wait. You may be mirroring. Let me stop and take a breath. You may be mirroring, so you might find yourself in both piles. Let's get a card for them. What card would represent the energy of this person? Four of Swords, that's a card of healing. The Four of Swords is Jupiter in Libra. We've already got Jupiter here, finding balance. The Three of Swords is heartbreak. And the Four of Swords is almost a self-inflicted time out after a battle. After some sort of painful experience, and you give that it's a healing phase in order to come back into alignment so that you can present yourself. The fours are the anchors in the tarot. If you think about a house with 4 walls, if you've only got 3 walls, then it all falls in. Let's have a look at what energy you are in. An energy, a card to represent your energy. The Ace of Cups. Ready and waiting for divine love. Okay, let's get some more about this person. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, the Hierophant. Now, this person, so we've had the Three of Swords here because we've got the Four. So this person's gone through some sort of, I just heard painful ending. And the Hierophant is about the structures that you are bound to. So it could be family, it could be work, it could be religion, it could be some sort of battle where the result was heartbreak or some sort of conflict. Because if you think about a sword, some sort of conflict where the result was heartbreak and it was because of some big structure. And when you think about the Hierophant, it is the family that your soul is born into, the circumstance, the country that you're born into, the religion that your family practices, that you then practice because that's where your family has guided you. There's been some sort of heartbreak in it. And this person is healing from that heartbreak. The Hierophant card is also God. So sometimes too, when you are seeking balance, divine balance, because swords are the mind, sitting quietly, Jupiter in Libra, asking for guidance as to how to move forward. What else for this person that explains this Four of Swords, Queen of Swords? They're cutting things out. And I want to say here, cutting the things out that no longer serve. In that particular card, her battle is with her father. So he would be the family Hierophant energy in her life. And we've got somebody begging, please understand what I want, what I'm doing, where I'm headed in my life. And you've got this father with his hands on his hips basically saying, So you've got, effectively, you've got a Queen of Swords, somebody who's speaking their truth, and the person that they're up against. I'm going to leave that for now. I want to see you. As I said, you can flip these. Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is highly, highly intuitive. The Queen of Cups holds this big, beautiful cup of love, and she's ready and willing to give it. Have a look. The Four of Wands. That's the marriage card. She's ready and willing to give it. But what I want to say is to the right person. And even in that series, and I'm just trying to think back, I think the first time she met him, he almost knocked her off a bridge. And we did have the Ponte Vecchio. He almost knocked her off a bridge. She was quite spirited. And she'd come from today, like she'd come from the time period of now, where women have the right and the power to speak how they feel, but she'd gone back to a period in time, I want to say, where women were seen and not heard. And so she challenged him. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look at the energy between you. Let's get this deck. Now we've got the Fool on the bottom, so a new beginning. The energy between you. Is that the question I want to ask? Yes, the energy between you, and then I'll go deeper. The energy between you, it's hidden. The High Priestess. There's a knowing between you both that you are significant in each other's lives. The High Priestess. The Tower. Why are you significant in each other's lives? Because the people who have the biggest impact on us are the people that make us stop and reflect on areas of our life that aren't serving us. And that goes back to that abrasive energy. Even in that TV series, he was wearing a mask. He was wearing a mask. And she was from, I want to say the future, but she was from, I'm not sure when it was made. 2015, something like that. She was a makeup artist and he had a big scar on his face, which is why he wore the mask. So she showed him that he could be almost like this, big scar on his face. Somebody could have an internal scar, an internal wound that you are meant to heal, the catalyst for that healing. The person in your life that you are meant to be with that provokes this massive change for the better. What else? The King of Cups. Maybe makes you love yourself for who you actually are, because they see what's hidden under the surface. And what else? Judgment. Change. Major change. These cards are beautiful. And as I said, you could be mirroring each other. The Ten of Pentacles. Who this person is to you. What have we got on the bottom here? The Knight of Wands, which is very similar to that. But in that particular series, he was protective of her, but he didn't come forward ultimately when she needed him. What have we got on the bottom here? The Four of Cups, disappointment. That's the Moon in Cancer. A petal is fluttered to the ground by the season. It'll be alone, the petal. It'll be alone, lonely and sad. The sky where the stars left is sad, so it cries like falling rain. Like the flower blooms and falls. Please deliver my mind via the wind. The wish will become free when the first snow comes. I believe that story, my dearest wish. If you knew my grieving heart, you'll be back soon. So it almost feels like the bridge has been torn down between. I'm going to get one card here. What does this person want? We've got two cards here. That's Saturn in Pisces, and that is the Three of Cups. Saturn in Pisces, the Eight of Cups, that's when somebody walks away. And the Three of Cups is communication, because it's Mercury in Cancer. They don't want you to walk away. The Knight of Wands. They want to come forward. It's that song, Can You Feel My Heart? What does this person want? This is you. What do you want? A new start and the person to come forward. But in balanced energy, because the Chariot needs two people to carry it. You want them to heal so that they can come towards you in balanced energy. And on the bottom, the Nine of Pentacles. I want to say here, patience, delays. You're happy to wait as long as the person coming towards you is balanced. The Three of Wands. Okay, I'm going to get... No, I've already got those. I am going to... I don't want this to be a very long reading. I'm actually going to get a love message from this person here. We need more balance. And look at that, mirroring. One more. Okay, do we want that there? Boundaries. I'm going to leave that there because that fell there for a reason. Okay, let's go back over here. You may have boundaries up to this person. Or you may think that this person has boundaries up to you. You have breathed new life into me, which is what she did for him. Okay, boundaries. Let's go over here. Opposites attract. You might be very different from each other. As I said, she was from the future and he was from ancient history. I'm ready to leave my old life behind. When I think about my future, you are right beside me. And I know there is important things we need to discuss. Okay, let's get some Scrabble tiles. Letters and numbers in here. And I'm just thinking St. Elmo's Fire is from the movie St. Elmo's Fire. I think I watched that maybe 30 years ago. I can't even remember what it's about. There might be, it's a running race. There might be something in that movie. Let's get some Scrabble tiles. Letters and numbers in here. It does make a little bit of noise when I shake it. If you've got hearing sensitivity, just turn your volume down. I'm going to shake it in 3, 2, 1. Let's just get those. This could be your first, middle, last initial, or that of this person, or something else that pertains to this connection. An O and a 1, a D and a 2. A C and a 3, an S and a 1, a K and a 5, an E and a 1, an I and a 1, A, E, I, O, U, a I, U. That's who played the character. Isn't that interesting? She played the female lead in that. And an M and a 3. Okay, I'm going to get 3 final cards for you. Anything else that you need to know about this connection? The High Priestess. I want to say the outcome of it is hidden. The communication is hidden, and it's hidden whilst you are both going through the work that is needed in order to come together. But I did get that song, In Another Life. So potentially the reason why the outcome is hidden is because it's not set in stone. One or both of you could potentially walk away from that offer of love, because 8 of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini, because you're still trapped in whatever it is you're meant to be working on. Judgment. That's God. God's passing judgment and basically saying there's a point on the road that you both need to get to, but if one's there and one's not, or neither of you are, then it doesn't come together. That bridge gets taken down. The Ponte Vecchio. What is St. Elmo's Fire about? Let me just look that up. Okay. Elmo's Fire is named after Saint Erasmus of Formia, also known as Saint Elmo, patron saint of sailors. The phenomenon, which can warn of an imminent lightning strike, was regarded by sailors with awe and sometimes considered to be a good omen. Perhaps you'll see a lightning strike. A phenomenon in which a luminous electrical discharge appears on a ship or aircraft during a storm. St. Elmo's Fire, the movie, explores the challenges and uncertainties faced by a group of recent college graduates as they navigate the transition into adulthood, grappling with career choices, relationships, and the fear of growing apart. It's a coming-of-age story that highlights the complexity of friendship, love, and the search for identity in the face of adulthood. That's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you so much for joining me. All the best on this journey. As I said, I'll list any of those songs, series that I mentioned in the description box. If you are called to, you can dig a little deeper into this message. If you are interested in any of my tarot or oracle decks, the links to those can also be found in the description box. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in another reading.